World According to Jen and Carolyn was filmed live on location in Jen's guest room. Wednesday or whatever the fuck.
What day is it?
It's Wednesday. I should be able to keep better track.
Wednesday.
I have a job. I look at a calendar on a daily basis.
I'm in full summer mode. Even though I don't have a child, I don't fucking know what day it is.
No.
Everything's all weird. My schedule's so bizarre right now because apparently in the summer, no one has problems.
No one has problems. Everybody's fancy free and enjoying the sunshine. Wait till winter and darkness come. They'll all be back in therapy. That's because that's when the holidays come and you have to see your family.
Yeah.
So you can no longer avoid these generational issues.
Isn't it interesting that Father's Day doesn't bring up the family time that Mother's Day does?
That's why so many men who become serial killers blame their mothers. I have a big responsibility as the mother of a white boy. If I
don't let him get any head injuries.
It's all my fault. Yeah, no TBIs and no trauma. And hopefully he'll turn out to be a decent human being who loves his mother and treats everybody, especially women, well. But
he better.
So speaking of treating women well or not. So I wrote this episode about the Dark Enlightenment so long ago that this is going to be like brand new information for me because this is the way a 45-year-old parent's brain works. So today's episode is going to be heavy. So we're diving into something that sounds like...
we're going to make it fucking hilarious.
We're going to try.
Because this shit is so... to the right, it's off the table. I've never heard anything like this.
It's like wacky Elon Musk right-wing
It
stuff.
makes him look more normal, though.
That's really hard to do. So I'm really glad to be jumping back into this because, again, I do not remember what I wrote. So this is going to be, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you put into this. I like to jump into these things like a big surprise. I really, some people will practice until the cows come home. Me, I'm like, let's do it live. Fuck it. Bill O'Reilly style. So this episode's heavy. This sounds like sci-fi, like dystopian weirdness, but we assure you this is real. Mm-hmm. Like all the weird things that are transpiring right now, you can't make this stuff up, and truth is stranger than fiction. So this is also known as is it NRX?
That's why I'm hearing it be talked about. The acronyms and the weird shit like HBD and all Proud Mary. Oh my God. There's what's the other guy's
they
weird
can't
name?
Have Proud Mary.
They have something. I'm mocking it. Those aren't the names. Well, it's pretty fucking weird.
It stands for neoreactionary thought. This sounds straight out of the fucking Matrix, except the Matrix was fighting for good, or the people within that world. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you've never heard of it before, you're not alone. Again, I don't even fucking remember what it's about, but its influence is quietly growing in tech, politics, online spaces. It's not just fringe internet philosophy either. It intersects with power, wealth, and governance, and challenges the core assumption that democracy is the best system we've got. So we've got to unpack, as we said in grad school, where this came from, what it believes, and why it's appealing to some, and why we say it's deeply dangerous. So prior to us putting this together, had you heard of this?
It made me think of like Dark Ages, which it has some connotations to. No, I'd never heard anything like this because I don't follow this stuff. Yeah. So it's not in my algorithm.
No.
But then what's interesting is in writing the episode, I do see you will familiarize yourself and go, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who that is.
Yeah. Now we can name it, as we also said in grad school.
Yeah.
I think that once we start talking about this, our listeners are going to be like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. Just like you said.
It sounds like some kind of shit that like when you're in like undergrad.
Yeah.
which again, I know is making us sound really elite, but like you'd sit around these sound like a bunch of fuckers who have wet dreams and coffee houses and like make up like cool algorithms and shit.
Write bad poetry.
I don't know, but it's like this other, it's enough where you're going, well, that seems like a good idea, but wait, I believe in community and human potential. So you lost me.
They took it in a dark direction. As the name implies.
Go dark.
Yeah.
But
no, producer Bill is the one who sent this our way and said, I think this would make a good episode. And I think he's right. So at its core, the Dark Enlightenment is this anti-democratic political philosophy that argues that democracy is fundamentally flawed. And its proponents believe that democracy leads to inefficiency, instability, and decline. Instead, they advocate for authoritarian systems often run like corporations.
Because those run so well for the worker.
Totally. No, that's why they don't care. It's some neoliberal and super conservative bullshit. So think of this, like countries as companies, citizens as employees, leaders as CEOs with total control. So this idea is often called neo-cameralism. So a system where governance operates like a business, prioritizing efficiency over representation. Awesome. I already didn't have much of a voice. Now I'm going to have zero voice. So the key thinkers behind this shit, there's a dude named Curtis Yarvin. He's a software engineer turned political theorist. Great.
He looks like, what's that movie, The Room?
Oh my God, are you serious? Like the main guy?
He kind of reminds me
of that. Oh my God, that movie is so... Oh, dude, he does remind me of the guy from The Room. If you haven't seen The Room, you guys, and we don't want to taint that because that is amazing.
It's a great room.
Cult classic. And then James Frank, it's cult classic. It's terribly acted. It's fucking hilarious. It's bad graphics. Like it is amazing. And then I think James Franco and was it Seth Rogen?
I don't know if it's Seth Rogen, but definitely James Franco.
James Franco. They did like a movie about making this
The Room.
movie. Yeah.
Tommy Wiseau, right?
Tommy Wiseau. That's his name. Oh my God, you guys see it. Anyway, so there's this guy, and then he wrote under the pseudonym Meniscus Moldbug.
That's the name. Where it's like Dr. Mantis Toboggan.
Mantis Toboggan from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's like, I brought my condoms. I'm ready to plow. I'm dropping so many pop culture gems on you right now. Okay. So he wrote under this crazy pseudonym and argued for a hard reset of democracy, essentially dismantling it entirely. That's not a...
But why do you have to have a fake name?
I don't, because these people are weird, as you said.
Weirdest name. Like, that's what I wanted to find out. What would be our like
a name generator? Like, oh my God, maybe I bet you it exists. We're gonna have to figure it out.
Okay.
Then there's Nick Land, whom I want to say
this guy.
Nick Land, who took these ideas further into something called accelerationism. So we're gonna get into that, but spoiler, it involves speeding up societal collapse. Yay! So Carolyn, can you like frame this in an academic way that isn't like too academic?
No problem. All right. So first and foremost, Nick Land, these guys are incredibly intelligent. They are like intelligent, like chess players are intelligent. And in that sense, they also want to go where the money is, and they're not thinking the way you and I think from a social perspective.
I don't care about people.
They don't care about people. They care about maintaining wealth and power and going wherever that is going, i.e. Donald Trump, i.e. JD Vance. So political theorists, absolutely. I'm just going to NRX because I don't nerks. Nerks. So yes, they place the broader tradition of anti-liberal thought is good. Liberals are bad. We're always bad, right?
Yeah.
So scholars like Wendy Brown and Jan Werner Müller have argued that anti-democratic ideologies tend to emerge during periods of institutional distrust and inequality. And research in political psychology shows that when people perceive, we've talked about this before, systems as failing, they become a little, I don't like that. They don't become more open to authoritarian alternatives. I think rich people do.
Yeah.
I also want to make a bold comment here. I don't see this concept existing prior to Obama.
Well, rich people and poor people, because that meme or that GIF makes a lot of sense. Like nobody supports billionaires quite like a guy making $50,000 a year. And that's the illusion of the pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Anybody can become a billionaire. That's bullshit.
But I think these guys at their core are racist.
So so that's why you think this happened because of Obama.
I think that is where things went really haywire with the right.
Okay.
If there's a black man that can get in here, what are we all doing? Yeah. We don't want democracy to work. That's just my weird.
Well, Trump's certainly obsessed with them. So
this isn't new. This isn't new, right? It's not new psychology. It's old authoritarian appeal with a tech rebrand. We've done techno-fascism. So let's talk about Adorno's authoritarian personality. That was in 1950. Anxiety plus low tolerance for ambiguity predicts attraction to rigid hierarchy. That's 75 years old. Still holds up pretty well. System justification theory by a gentleman named Jost. People will psychologically defend any system that promises them stability, even if it disempowers them. That's what you're talking about. Something by Freud called tied to betrayal trauma, when the institutions that are supposed to protect you keep failing.
Betrayal trauma.
I got that. The nervous system doesn't automatically learn to, quote, fix the system. And hey, I'll agree. The system's broken.
It is. But their solutions aren't viable.
Absolutely.
We need to fix things, but this isn't the magic bullet.
When you frame it systemically, not as a pathology, it's a predictable response to chronic institutional betrayal.
Sure.
I would say it's probably not a character flaw of the people who are drawn to it, because I think of where they might be and things they have not received.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm being very nice right now.
No, and I think you're right. And I think that it's relevant. It's not just kind. It's important that we look at this because, as your fiance was astute enough to point out, a lot of people in this country don't think like we do. And it's not because we have different ideologies. It's because we were academically trained to do research and are able to discern fact from fiction.
And where we are geographically.
Yes.
And the people that we surround ourselves around and the things that we're interested in.
Yes.
I'm guessing not every 15, 16-year-old was into communism.
Right. And we also forget that approximately 54% of the American population reads at a 6th grade level.
Look at you pulling out the stats.
They live in my head. I do research and policy for a living. Thank you very much. And that's another thing. That's another benefit.
Yes.
I live, sleep, breathe, eat this shit.
Yes.
And most people, that's a luxury.
Yes.
As we always say.
Here's my last thought, though.
Give me your last thought.
Every key thinker that we just named is a man. Mm-hmm. All the people that are behind this ideology are men.
Well, that makes sense.
And every core idea on the table is done from a hierarchical, patriarchal, white supremacist. I mean, right, it's got bell hooks for platforms all over it. This is not a fifth dimension of that. Right.
Well, it makes total sense. I mean, look at
Mark misogyny and technology, having a baby, and it's Mangus Toboggan or whatever the fuck.
I give birth to Mantis Toboggan. He's ready to plow. No, but it's true, though, because this Silicon Valley has always been this place that's been hyper masculine. Mm-hmm. And any sort of attempts to increase the number of women in tech, and not just in tech, but in leadership positions in tech, has always or typically has been met with pushback. And look at Mark Zuckerberg just a year or two ago, who was saying like this feminization of the tech movement, this pushing back, like that embodies a lot of these philosophies.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Well, and so you get that merging of technology, what happened in 2010. I think the Obama presidency, no one ever thought there'd be a black man in office.
What happened in 2010?
The age of anxiety, the internet, all these different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And that was also following the Great Recession. Yes. So things were just slowly coming back. But yeah.
It's a little perfect mix for all this. So,
yes, it's a perfect shitstorm. So what are the core ideas of this nonsense movement? So anti-democracy is the big one, right? Yeah. So these proponents of NRX or whatever the hell we're calling it argue that democracy is inherently unstable. They describe it as entropic. basically always decaying into disorder. Okay. Instead, maybe because our systems are incredibly oppressive, and that when you oppress people, there's only so much that they'll take before they start to push back. Yeah. And they see what we see as a very necessary push back against oppression as an unnecessary like shakeup of the system.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Like don't fuck with the system. And we're like, no, that destabilization, quote unquote, is necessary because the system is
yes,
it's inequitable.
That's Bernie Sanders, right?
Yeah.
That was his whole platform. That's any progressive platform.
Any progressive platform.
And because that's a difference of its community can't coexist in oppressive situations.
Right. And there is only so much if people are galvanized either by a strong leader who is framing this for them in a way that makes sense, or they're pushed to the brink.
Yeah.
Can't afford gas, can't afford food, are working 2 jobs just to barely stay afloat and keep a roof over their head. The breaking point is coming.
Yeah.
The last breaking point we saw was when Black Lives Matter kicked off.
Yes.
With George Floyd and the pandemic. And that was another perfect storm.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, a lot of the gains that we made during that time have been taken back.
Yeah.
And so there's always that push and pull, and they see that as negative. We see it as necessary.
Yes.
So, these folks propose monarch-like systems. That's why they love Trump. But modernized. So like CEO monarchs, a guy with 6 bankruptcies, he can be our king.
No big deal. It's just a Caesar, like having that kind of setup.
So hot. Let's do some Nero shit. Let's burn it down. So this aligns with research in comparative politics, which shows that some individuals prioritize stability over participation, especially in crisis. And we've talked about this extensively. When people feel unsafe, that is often when they start to move toward authoritarian leaders and systems. They want to be protected. And that makes sense because we live in a patriarchal society that teaches you that, big sky daddy or whomever is going to protect you.
The poor people and the underprivileged people doing that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The wealthy people are doing it so that they don't lose their wealth.
Yeah, it's a manipulative process.
So that's even more fucked up to me. Like you're not uncomfortable, but you are going to go with that person because you see them. It's a bet.
Yeah.
And you don't want to lose. So you're going to bet on Trump because you know you're going to win.
Right.
Even though Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about people. No. And it's crazy. So let's talk about the cathedral, which is fucking crazy. So it's one of the most important and conspiratorial concepts in this shit ass movement. It refers to institutions like universities, media, and government. So these NRX thinkers argue these institutions enforce progressive ideology and control public discourse. No, you know what happens in college? You learn history. It's not liberal versus conservative values, facts, philosophy, whatever. This is what really happened. And then, oh my God, you're enlightened and you realize that all these liberal people that your parents taught you to fight against all your life and told you were crazy, they were telling you the truth. That's why college has a quote unquote liberalizing effect.
That's why the first university came in the Dark Ages.
I'm not surprised. They're like, please enlighten us. So
the fact that it's called the Age of Enlightenment.
Yeah.
It was pretty enlightened during the Dark Ages.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I went deep into this shit last night, Jen.
Dude.
Gotta get high and looked at a lot of stuff.
And go down the rabbit hole. We always encourage that. So, it's similar to what the media scholars call elite framing theory, but taken to extreme. So instead of analyzing influence, it assumes coordinated ideological control. So us liberals are trying to take control of your poor, sweet children that you send to college, and we're trying to shape them and make them our puppets. So let's talk the third concept, techno-authoritarianism, which we've talked about extensively. So this philosophy envisions a world of GovCorps, small competitive authoritarian states. So think privatized cities or startup nations.
Startup nation.
God, I hate all this stuff. Tech has its place. I work in economic and workforce development. I don't want to dismiss tech, but I am about tech for good. And I want to see the tech industry diversify, which is incredibly challenging. So anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. So, this overlaps with real world experiments like charter cities and seasteading. I don't even know
what is that.
Oh, it
is that like on a ship?
I'm imagining seasteading being like farming sea shit. I have no idea.
Sounds like a new sexual position.
There's a Triton.
You want to try seasteading today?
I might have a tail, a fin.
I have a headache.
Like, yeah. Let's go seastead. I don't know. Consensual adults, all good. I have no idea what it is. So urban studies scholars have warned that privatized governance often leads to exclusion and inequality, to which we say, dumb.
No fucking shit.
So the fourth concept, human biodiversity. This is where things get especially fucking weird. So NRX often promotes human biodiversity,
which sounds like a good thing,
right? But it's actually rebranding of scientific racism. It's eugenics, y'all.
It's Darwinism. This is all like fucking Darwin shit.
It is. Well, they argue that the differences in intelligence or capability are inherited and justify hierarchy. This is a bell curve theory. This is eugenics.
How many times has this been debunked?
Oh, I know. Why does this keep rearing its ugly racist head? I don't know, Sydney Sweeney. What the fuck is going on? Your genes are not better than mine. Kiss my ass. So then there's also, studies like Nature Genetics show that race is not a biologically discrete category. Duh. And intelligence is shaped by complex environmental factors. Race is an entirely societal construct.
Yes.
Meant to create division. I'm not saying there aren't very real consequences of this. Race exists.
Yeah.
It's polarizing. It's used to exacerbate perceived differences and keep a system of inequity going. But never forget, it's completely and totally fucking made up and contrived. There are no biological differences. There's difference in our melanin.
Yeah.
And like a few other characteristics.
And maybe geographically,
right.
Like something I was reading was like, oh, well, Caesar would say like, oh, Germans are more hardy because they wear less clothes and they're bathing in cold water so they can work harder. But then he's like, but we're better thinkers. It's like, God. You don't fucking know.
Yeah. Some of us have more hair on our body because of where we're at geographically.
Yes.
I still don't understand why us Italians are so hairy. It's hot where we're from. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, I say this to say we have these differences, but they are not intellectual differences. There is no difference.
We're a human species. Right. The same way you could look at any animal and they're still all part of a mammal breed, but they have different...
Some of them do have bigger brains, though.
Powers.
That's different. Yes, different powers.
That's true.
Yeah, animals are a bit different, but still, like, they're still beautiful. Hey, all animals.
All God's creatures.
Can't make jokes about that. Anyway, so accelerationism is another thing that they talk about. It's the idea that we should speed up societal collapse intentionally. Yes. Burn it down. The belief is that accelerating capitalism and instability will lead to a new, more efficient system.
I think we're in that now.
We are. This is disaster capitalism. This is
the next level.
Naomi Klein calls it end times capitalism. She's actually speaking in September at City Arts and Lecture, and we're going.
Oh, we need to go
because she's amazing. But what we're seeing right now is end times capitalism.
NRX.
And it's self-enforcing, right? Like the people in power are hastening. They're not hastening the demise, but they're taking everything they can before the inevitable collapse of capitalism. So I don't know. I got to look more deeply into that before I go off on a tangent. So the belief is that accelerating capitalism and instability. Oh, I read that part. More efficient system. Philosophically, my weed gummy is going to continue to kick in.
It really is.
Going to become
took it
more disjointed. I'm still not there yet. I'm not feeling it, but I have had some bourbon because it's been a rough week. So, philosophically, this draws from postmodern theory, but is repurposed here in a deeply anti-democratic way. So Silicon Valley connection schoost.
Sometimes California is not so great.
Well, we really need equity in our tech industry.
Yeah. And watch these white guys.
So where I work, white boys gone wild. It's a scary thing because they have a lot of power. This is why when the Trump administration, in terms of like the new Workforce Act, where they're like, we have to take care of young white men and make sure they can get jobs. I'm like,
they're fine.
No, they're not. I'm like, let's get them jobs because otherwise they're going to resort to violence.
Yeah.
So that is the only like reason I agree
old
with
white men. We don't have to worry about.
Not excluding marginalized and vulnerable communities who also need workforce and economic development, but we cannot take our eyes off these white boys. Yeah. This is for the sake of policing them for the benefit of everybody.
Fair.
Right?
Fair.
Yeah. This is the radicalization stuff we talked about a couple of episodes ago. So let's talk about Silicon Valley. So close to home for us. It's gained a lot of traction in Silicon Valley, this NRX movement. Ideas like startup societies, crypto governance, and seasteading all overlap with NRX thinking. So the influential figures are Peter Thiel, who's publicly questioned whether freedom and democracy are compatible. Okay. And political figures connected to Donald Trump like Bannon, J.D. Vance, Michael Anton, they've all engaged with overlapping theories.
So many. And they're all, again, very brilliant people.
Yeah.
Especially Peter Thiel.
Yeah.
And he just, and it, you know, again, think of how J.D. Vance just converted to Catholicism.
Did he? I didn't even hear that. Oh my God.
Because these men, this is all very related to Margaret Atwood type, you know, that type of world.
Yeah.
Because what's the most powerful resourced religion?
Well, it would be Catholicism. They're incredibly rich. Well, Scientology probably has a lot of money behind it too when you think about its members, right?
But see, now interesting. Now then, why is that not? Well, because they're Hollywood. But it's
Hollywood too, so they're considered to be liberals, but it's also more fringe. It's not one of the big three.
Exactly.
I think these folks want to be associated with the big three because the big three is not being scrutinized to the extent that these other
So they're going to go again with Trump, Catholicism, or Christianity. Where is the most wealth and the most power and the highest likelihood, again, back to Darwin, of success for your species, which if you're an individualist, you don't give a shit about the world. You care about yourself.
Well, society now, survival has now become inextricably linked with money. Because before it was the basics, right? Like, think of us as an early species.
Yes.
Survival meant the acquisition of food and shelter and defending yourself from predators. Yes. People who could do that would live to propagate their species. Now the people who are living to propagate their species are those with extreme wealth.
Yes.
And hoarding that wealth for themselves.
And how do you bypass democracy and all the things that we have set up?
Yeah.
You only keep the executive branch. You isolate out legislative and judicial. You're even going to isolate out the federal banks.
Or the judicial
and
is complicit.
That too. And go to crypto. All these guys are into crypto.
Yeah. Crypto's fucking weird, dude.
So if you're not with us, you either conform or you're a terrorist.
Yeah. And this is why, like, as much as it's difficult for me to trust somebody who's incredibly rich, I'm like, all right, Tom Steyer, like, you're saying the right shit. Like, oh, okay. He calls himself a traitor to his class or some bullshit. But it's like, all right. Like, but also at the same time, I'm like, you're saying the right things. Everything you're saying resonates with me as a democratic socialist. And at the same time, you use these systems of inequity to acquire your billions.
Yes.
And now you're like, okay, now that I have these billions, I'm going to, either change my philosophy or let the philosophy I've always held actually come to the forefront. And I'm going to run. I'm going to have a political platform on that philosophy. That's what makes me a little uneasy. But at the same time, it's like, I'll take it. I'll take you, maybe not as a leader, but as an ally.
Because our survival is based off an agreement that we know these systems are flawed.
Right.
So how can we have the one person who we will have the least amount? We're still going to have to fight.
Yeah.
We're still going to have to be active. But if I vote for this person, I'll have to do it less versus this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where we're going. Well, the system then is flawed.
Right.
So you get these progressives, and you're seeing progressives win in elections now.
Right. Well, look what just happened in New York.
Who's the
three? There's three of them that were supported by Mamdani, and they all won their races.
Another one in a different state? Too?
Yes, there was. I can't remember.
There's so much stuff going on.
I cannot remember.
We're accelerating.
We are. But also at the same time, I read a really interesting article today that was putting it into perspective. They're like, don't forget, moderate Democrats are winning too. And as far as I'm concerned right now, because things are so dire, even though I'm a progressive democratic socialist, I'll take any fucking Democrat, any Democrat, because I want retribution. I want my pound of flesh. I want Gavin Newsom to be fucking president because I want him to actively, from a judicial perspective, go after these people. There's some things I disagree with, but I met him recently, and
he's like the Kennedy of our generation.
My kid loved him. My kid can usually smell
Your kid
evil.
Loves everyone.
He doesn't. Usually he's super shy.
No, that's true.
Gavin and him were chopping it up. He's a dad. So he knows how to talk to kids.
He's a Marin dad.
Yeah, he's a Marin dad. But, at this point, like, as much of a progressive as I am and as much as I want to move the needle, because I think it's imperative we do so. Otherwise, the pendulum's just going to keep going back and forth, and we're never going to make any real progress. But right now, things are so dire, and democracy, I think, is on the brink of demise.
And that's what they're waiting for.
That's why I'm like, any Democrat, any port in a storm, bro. Any port in a storm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the right way to be thinking about this. Like, come at me, guys.
Tell, right?
Talk to me. Caroline, why don't you give us some more, give me some more academic sociological insights into what exit over voice means. What the fuck is exit over voice?
I know,
what did I write?
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is all stupid.
Maybe you wrote it.
So again, let's reframe this for those of us who, like me, have a really hard time understanding these types of things. So we're talking about, again, we're acknowledging that imperialist white supremacy capitalist patriarchy is what we're living in now, right? All right. So like I said, this, to quote Bell Hooks, we're not adding a fifth dimension in the Dark Enlightenment. It actually is the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Where we now have a CEO king is going to be the patriarchy. Governance is, again, that CEO king analogy in their world. So where we see patriarchy and governance, that's what they see. White supremacy becomes the data. Capitalism, whatever we want to call it, like, again, dropping all that pretense, we're getting domination culture and community, and saying community has to go in order for us to progress to the next level. Yeah. So they've kind of, like, in a weird way, like, they just eliminated humans. They see no value in human. These are bot people. These are people who probably fuck robots. They do not see any value. Humans are annoying. we are clients that are
we have needs.
No, you don't. That's what makes things so inefficient. You're inefficient, Jen. So, all right. So sociology, studying tech elites, sociologists who study tech elites have found this interest in what you call kind of the exit over voice. So, meaning, instead of fixing democracy, like you and I are saying, well, let's just all work harder and let's sit at a table of my brothers and sisters and intersex, trans, siblings, whatever. Just be here. Yeah. Let's just exist and be who you want to be, and let's just work towards a common good. They're all, shut up. Yeah. All right. So
you're going to the gas chamber.
You exit. Again. You exit. You exit. We don't want that. We're just going to opt out of that entirely. That's noise. We're not going to deal with that.
Yeah, we don't.
All right. This aligns with someone named Albert Hirschman's theory. And that's where exit versus voice came in. And it's visible in these elite circles because, of course, it is. Yeah. So Hirschman's exit versus voice maps out almost exactly what I would see. Have you ever been stonewalled?
No, but I know of Stonewall.
not the
Stonewall, where somebody doesn't want to talk to you, and they just
or just kind of like, again, it's a really, Stonewall isn't shutting down. Stonewall is, I am so better than you, or not even I'm better than you. That's not what I'm going to say. But like, I'm going to actually withdraw because I don't even want to repair. It's not worth my time. There's no point.
Yeah.
So it's actually, it's easier for me to say, I don't even know if it's easier. I'm just, the voice is, let's stay in this. Let's work on this.
Yeah.
Let's try and slow things down. It's hard, but let's be accountable. There's something to go. And the exit is, let's just not even deal with this.
Yeah.
That is the strongest predictor of divorce. Because you can't work with someone who doesn't want to work with you. Right. You can't work things out. So
they've checked out.
Think of that, but on a bigger scale. Okay. Think of that dad that you're jumping up and down with, trying to argue with, but he's not even going to engage. You're like nothing to him.
Yeah.
It's this level of superiority and just I'm not even going to do it. So now let's scale that up. All right. So when the wealthiest people decide that this is how they're going to do it, like you brought up the sea studying.
Do we know what that is yet? Do we know if fucking all I see in my head is Ariel's dad? Like fucking Triton, sexy fish dad. Who played him in the live action one? Was it Javier Bardem? So fucking sexy.
Man, I have major mermaid fetish now. Remember SNL when Will Ferrell is on the island with Ariel, but it's Reese Witherspoon, and she's like,
never seen
I'm gonna let you touch my fish genitalia. And he's like, what?
No, I don't remember that, but now
it's very funny. That's what I'm thinking of when I think seasteading. All right, well, seasteading is network states.
My water.
Oh, basically taxes, civil repair. That's all democracy.
Yeah.
Don't do it. So the exit is privilege.
Yeah.
How lovely to just go, peace. I'm not going to fuck with this shit no more.
You plebeian bitches. I'm fucking out. I'm going to my private island, Little St. Jeff.
What's a plebeian?
Oh, it's like a peasant.
A plebes?
Plebeian? You've never heard that? You don't remember that from high school? Like
plebeian?
Plebeian.
No, that sounds hilarious.
Proletariat, plebeian, peasant, all
plebeian.
The same
No,
thing.
Didn't know that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Ooh, that was alliterative. A lot of P's. Go on. See, my gummy's kicking in.
Yeah, totally. You do get smarter when you're on that.
I told you. I should go to work. Just kidding.
Well, so I wrote, most people can't seastead themselves away from broken healthcare systems.
I cannot seastead myself.
I cannot seasteady myself. All right. But anyway, so, again, it's a lot of privilege. Again, these are white dudes. There's also Bandura is a psychologist and talked about something called moral disengagement.
Shut up in Bandora's box, bro.
Bandana. So innovation or efficiency, instead of abandoning collective responsibility, it's just kind of fucked up, right?
Yeah.
In order to be a part of a working society, what is it? Margaret Mead was like the first sign of empathy was someone fixing a femur. Did you just fart?
No, that's my husband moving the stool, the bath stool upstairs. He's giving Liam a bath. Yeah, that was not
I was
my
like,
ass.
that's not like you.
That would be very forceful.
on a podcast.
No, I would have to be near death to fart on.
You're not an audible farter.
No.
Okay. Anyway.
Not typically.
Sorry to put you on shot there. So
that's all right.
Again, voice repair, exit, voice, right? Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's historically been coded. Voice repair is a feminine, matriarchal way of doing things.
Oh.
We use our voice. We try and make things better.
Pussies, literally.
Tell that to all the men in our lives. I'm just using my voice to try and make
Why
things
are you
better.
talking about your feelings? It's such a waste of time. Let me stonewall you. What is going on?
So exit withdrawal is basically the absolute epitome of being masculine.
Okay.
And being strategic. And it's,
sounds like a manual on how to get divorced. This is how to divorce yourself from society. It really is.
Pretty much.
And it's self-preservationism to a psychopathic level.
Exactly. But where the psychopathy is not the control of people is just separating the people that are the yes people from you're not even no person. You're
irrelevant. You're persona non grata, dog. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. So what are the criticisms?
Depends who you ask.
There are a lot. We just gave you a lot as we went through the spiel. So
We would hate it.
Of course we would. It's trying to deprive us of our power. It's trying to say women in particular don't have voice and agency.
You're a baby maker.
Yeah, that's
and
pretty much all I'm good
you're
for.
irrelevant.
Yeah. Then I can cook. So I think I'd be a Martha.
No, you wouldn't be a Martha. You'd be one of the cooks.
That's
the Martha. I thought
Martha's the cooks. Martha's are the cooks.
What's the aunt?
Oh,
what's her name?
Oh, Lydia?
Oh, you're okay.
No,
I was like, wait, no, you're not
the
Lydia.
The Lydias, they're the enforcers.
Yeah.
But no, the Marthas are the ones who do the cooking and the housework. They're no longer like childbearing age or can't bear children. And so they can cook. So I can cook. So I probably am not going to go to the colonies. So that's okay. I'll take it, I guess.
I want to work in the brothel.
That's kind of a cool job. I mean, comparatively speaking,
I get to drink, and wear cool clothes.
I don't have to make babies for anybody.
It's awful.
I get to drink and do drugs, and well, there's sexual abuse, but none of it's good. There are no good options in Gilead, you guys. But I think we say all this to say, well, we're trying to bring some levity into this because it's so fucking dark.
And this is happening. Like, can we just name we're out of fascism?
Yeah,
we're in the acceleration process right now.
Yeah, no, I think that's why we're so scared. Like, some people, a lot of people are like, hey, the political pendulum always swings from the right to the left. I'm like, do you not see how extreme this is? This isn't like our traditional Republicans. And I'm not trying to give a pass to somebody like George W. Bush, who started 2 needless wars and just like exacerbated disaster capitalism and made money off of natural disasters and man-made disasters. Like, he's a piece of shit. And at the same time, I did not feel like democracy was gonna fucking collapse. Whereas right now, I'm like, wow, it's not Trump himself because he's a fucking demented moron, but the people he's surrounded himself with, the Heritage Foundation.
I'm more afraid of Vance.
Yes, because he's ideological.
Yes.
And he's actually smart. But he's not her friend. But this is all kind of angling toward what we're talking about today, which is dismantling democracy and taking away what little voice those of us who aren't rich white men have. And obviously there's like variations of that, right? But that's why this is so scary to us. To us, this isn't politics as usual. And I think, again, this is the benefit of academic privilege. We've read enough to know that nothing good ever comes of this.
Well, and we have empathy.
Well,
there's no room for fear.
Well, I'm saying the people on the ground too, who would call us alarmists and say that, oh, what you're saying is hyperbole and it's dramatic and it's not that bad.
Happening. I can tell you 5 stories that happened today that highlight that.
Because we have the benefit of having the time to read the news. And I
can pay for the Atlantic.
Right. Exactly. It's a publication you have to pay for. That's another thing. Like, media has become elite. And you have to, like, even if you want to watch YouTube, like, YouTube's free and everything, but still you have to have the internet. You have to, there's a digital divide. So there is a premium. There's a price associated with knowledge. And we are really fortunate to be able to afford this premium. And I think we take for granted or just don't know that so many people don't have access to this.
Well, and you're working, if someone's working 3 jobs and they're trying to put food on the table.
Totally.
I don't want to assume, but my guess is going to be. I'm not thinking about that shit.
My mom, who was in 9th grade education, who was smart in her own right, who was cleaning oftentimes 2 homes a day. She wasn't coming home and reading the news, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So, you know, anyway, I went off on a tangent. So, there's this techno-feudalism shit. This is something that they believe, which I just like saying techno-feudalism. Yeah. It's the idea that NRX recreates feudal hierarchies, but with tech CEOs instead of kings. So political economists argue this could concentrate power even more than current systems. That's the goal, obviously. It's neocolonialism. Some proposals involve creating new city-states in developing regions. Critics say this resembles colonial
Texas.
extraction. Yeah, well, wealth flowing to elites, not local populations. Think about what like England did to India and Ireland, particularly India, because they had so many natural resources that could be sold. So, it's just everything old is new again. Fucking human beings. Carolyn, talk to us more about the psychological appeal of this nonsense.
I don't think it is. I'm going to just say that right now. But, again, I think there's the people that would agree that, yes, times are uncertain.
Yeah.
We wouldn't necessarily make this leap. I am as wealthy as I am and in my own right. This is not okay because I'm at the end of the day, I believe in human potential and I don't ever think that humans can be replaced by machines.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that machines do really efficiently, like make coffee, but I have a good relationship with my toaster.
Really good coffee
right?
too.
But I would never, that's the world I live in. Right. And again, whatever. So, we know that people gravitate towards systems, but this feels more, NRX really offers a simple narrative. Yeah. Which I think, again, if you think of this like any other type of cult. Yeah. So it starts off in theory and it starts off in university. Right. And it's all, all these guys are, Nick Land was a professor at Warwick University. Then he did a lot. And like I was telling you before, the classes he taught, let me say them again. He taught like
rave theory.
Intro to rave culture, the occult. Like, the weirdos like that we all kind of make into, like you're kind of into it. But then these guys start doing a lot of amphetamines and a lot of mind altering drugs.
Meth never makes anything better, you guys.
And then they have psychotic breaks and then they go write a book. Yeah. And then a lot of people go, and that's what happened to Nick Land. And, so we're seeing these things, but, it's very powerful to say, yes, democracy is broken. Yes, the elites are lying. Yes, strong leadership will fix it. Yeah. But you and I know that leadership is only as good as the grassroots that's coming up underneath it. Right. And that's powerful, even if it is flawed. But this is the part that worries me clinically. So we've heard terror management theory. I'm not going to go into all the details about this, but terror management theory, cognitive closure, having a systemic frame, the comfort of being sold a very specific kind of stability. Yeah. Like, really? Mm-hmm. Really?
I know. Well, it's like, if we're talking cults, like Jim Jones and Jonestown, like you're being sold stability. You're being sold a post-racial society in the midst of a very racist time. Mm-hmm. And then you get out there and you're like, oh, surprise, we're all drinking poison and 900 of us are going to fucking die. Yeah. You're being sold a false bill of sale or goods, whatever it is.
Well, and I think, again, a lot of this model is predicated, again, on humans are in the way. Yeah. Like, we don't need them. We need less of them. And they're not necessary. Yeah. Which is like the worst thing I've ever heard. Yeah. And it's like, well, we can just replace you all and then we don't have to deal with all these standards and things that make life so tricky. And you all can just do whatever
now we're
you do.
Serious. This is why when it comes to AI, there are some folks in the AI world and folks who use AI on a daily basis, like I do, who are like, okay, we have to put some guardrails around this and we have to make sure we're doing what I call AI for social good, because this has the opportunity or the potential to go very, very wrong. And with any great power concentrated in the wrong hands, it's going to have a deleterious and negative and oppressive impact on society. And this is why within my office, I have really positioned myself at the forefront of using this new technology, which these folks want to use to eliminate humans. I want to use it to uplift humans and give them a tool in their arsenal to be able to compete.
Absolutely.
But it's such a dangerous time, not just because of what's happening in the government, but this technological advance that is shaping and changing society literally as we speak could go disastrously wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what's so scary about all this.
Well, you and I were just watching another TikToker post a video about how he's trolling AI therapists, AI
this
doctor.
is crazy, you guys. It looks like human beings, but they're avatars.
But they look like him. So, but it's weird to you and I, because you and I have your son is going to grow up in a time where he won't think that interaction might be weird. And that's what makes us old, right? Yeah. Like my dad refused to use ATMs.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I think I've told this story before. Like he'd go into the bank and be like, no, I refuse to use it because they're taking your job. And like, you shouldn't want that ATM.
Your dad was right about that. Bill's predecessor.
He was always weird, but he was kind of like always weirdly right too. But so here's my thing with that. When I just need $20. Yeah. I just can go to an ATM. Yeah. And it's fine. And it's easy. When I actually have a problem though, I want to go in and talk to a banker. Yeah.
I was having this conversation today. Like now a lot of customer service is AI.
Yes.
And we're like, no, we just want to talk to a human. Like, and maybe it's because AI, and this might be a good thing because it'd be scary otherwise, isn't advanced enough to be able to really give us that customer service that we so often
They're working on it.
They are. That's the thing. We're getting there.
But what a waste that we're wasting AI to make you, human, feel more seen.
Dude, I fucking used Spanish in my conversation with my AI agent today, and it responded in Spanish. It also began joking with me.
Yo, no habla.
No, yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, mucho. No más. No más, por favor. Like, it was fucking crazy. And it's like making jokes with me and like cracking, like I'll be like, oh, thanks, dog, appreciate you, and it's like, good luck on that presentation with like an emoji, and like I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't want to go too deep down the AI rabbit hole, but I say this to say again, and my gummy is really kicking in, is that this technology has enormous potential to either improve society or exacerbate existing inequalities. And history, unfortunately, demonstrates that whenever there's been a major technological advancement, it typically displaces and disadvantages, exponentially the people who are already fucked. So that's what scares me.
They're all going to the moon, girl.
They're just
like, can I just say something else weird?
The rich are going to go to the moon. They're going to leave us here.
This is the colonies.
This is the
fucking Earth.
Yeah,
and they're just going to be like, y'all figure this out. We're exiting to the moon base, whatever. But like, even that to me, like, shouldn't there be some conversation? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Why does America get to have a whole moon set up?
Well, it's also this disposable, this like as Americans in particular, we're such a disposable society. I know. We're disgusting, but I believe we're
send the flood, God.
We're salvageable. Don't send the locusts yet, but like it's true. I know. We're our own worst enemies.
That's a core theory of this is human beings are inherently evil.
I don't think we're inherently evil.
I don't think we are either.
Fuck up all the time. That doesn't mean we're evil. We just keep repeating the same goddamn mistakes.
But this is what Dark Enlightenment is that humans are flawed. Stop having humans then.
But humans are flawed. That doesn't mean we stop. It means we improve or try to improve.
Well, see, that's where I don't understand how the Dark Enlightenment matches with the you would think they'd be into abortion. Like, no more humans. Stop making babies. Y'all are flawed.
Since they're into eugenics, they want white babies of wealthy folks or just babies of wealthy folks.
God, what a lame world it would be if it was just white.
Ultimately, what would happen is the same thing that happened with monarchies. They'd be fucking inbred. Yeah. They'd have Habsburg chins and drool and have all types of fucked up issues.
Hemophiliacs.
Yeah. So it'd be King Tut all over again.
Y'all go ahead and inbreed.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I don't want to be a part of your bullshit. So this is, we're going to wrap this up. So this obviously connects to the alt-right. It's literally considered the intellectual wing of the alt-right. You know, the future, what does this mean? So NRX forces us to confront a difficult question. What happens if people lose faith in democracy? This is why we can't lose faith. No. Because there's people out there waiting to capitalize on that loss of faith, then exploit the fuck out of you and make things 10 times worse.
They're ready. They're accelerating.
They are. The grass is not greener, y'all. So global studies or global surveys show declining trust in democratic institutions. We know this. We're there. I get it. I have a declining trust in these institutions as well, but that doesn't mean throwing out the baby with the bathwater. It means putting better people into these institutions. So, you know,
I can make this very short.
Can you summarize domination fantasy versus human flourishing? What the fuck is that?
I added this in because, again, underneath, this is like...
Sounds kinky.
It does, right? All this sounds fucking
way more fun
kinky.
Than it actually is.
Yeah. So, again, underneath all this stuff, right? Like the old tale as old as patriarchy. Dominate or be dominated, right? There is no third option in this worldview, right? It does, right? So when people ask, why is this dangerous beyond the politics? This is why. It's not just undemocratic. It's a worldview engineered to be incompatible with something I make a living off of, which is awe and wonderment.
People's feelings.
But the beauty of... let's just sit and stare at that fucking duck. I was going to say turd. I don't know why.
I'll stare at a turd. I don't know.
Right. But like,
there's beauty in a turd. Now I'm
speaking of my dad. Like he'd be like, it's a gift to be able to contemplate your navel.
Yes, it is.
And that's a miracle.
Yeah.
And all of this connection, again, it's all connection to matriarchy and to divine and to spirituality and a connection and something bigger than who we are.
It's not a world these guys live in.
No. And these aren't, to me, those aren't soft values. They're conditions that human beings need to thrive.
Yeah.
Are we the next species? The liberal is going extinct.
Probably. And
this is not going to be how we survive.
No, it's not. And it's another, like,
it's dog eat dog now.
Well, beyond that, like,
look at Christy Nome.
Oh God. Wasn't she kill dog? Didn't she kill her puppy? Oh my God. I don't even know where she is.
She's gone.
All the women are gone. They took it out on the women.
Well, stupid, what's her name? Caroline Levitt is back off maternity duty. I'm like, shouldn't you be having another baby again? I'm like, shut up.
She'll be pregnant.
But you know what I mean? Like you are.
Their goal.
That's what's even interesting to me. They're like, it's all betting against yourself.
Well, that's the thing. They don't care about what's crazy to me is like, you not care about the perpetuation of your bloodline. Because this world, like, you're living for today. Like, if you're the Koch brothers who are making your money off like big oil and pet coke, which is fucking disgusting and terrible for the environment, like, you really care about your kids and your grandkids' survival? Or do they fully believe they've got another planet to inhabit, or B, climate change and the degradation and like
that's a poor people problem, Jen.
It is a poor people problem. I think maybe that's the way they think of it. Not that it doesn't exist and that climate change is a hoax, but that
on my island,
it's coming, but I'm always going to have a place to go, which is completely and totally just an insane way to think.
Yep.
Even from just like a purely scientific perspective, like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go?
In my spaceship.
Well, money can't buy you air. You know, money can't buy you water. Money can't buy you land that can be farmed. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I think this goes so much deeper. I think there's so much we don't know. Like, I'm going full conspiracy theory on this shit.
Sounds like it.
There's stuff we don't know, Jen.
Of course, I agree.
There's things we don't know. There's like where are all those scientists that died?
This is why I love the X-Files, dude, because there's something to it. And to think, and I don't think we're being nonsensical, irrational conspiracy theorists to think like this. I think everything that we've seen kind
Especially
of
in the last
concludes
4 years.
Yeah, it doesn't lead to an inevitable conclusion that there's something really insidious and dark going on that
Dark
most of us
Enlightenment.
aren't privy to. But like, it seems logical to think that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm high.
Did you watch 1883 or 1923?
No, what the fuck is that?
So it's all the Taylor Sheridan. Remember Yellowstone?
Mm-hmm.
So,
although I only watched a couple episodes of that.
I mean, come at me, internet. But I actually really liked 1883. And then it's only one season. It's a couple episodes. And now I'm watching 1923.
Oh.
But it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren's in it.
Oh.
But they're talking about basically like they show them, you know, these are people who love their land, even though, yes, they took it from the Indians and all that stuff. And that's in there. And they really highlight that. And they go into like the Indian schools. I think it's been very well done. I haven't finished it, but there's a character who I think is a real congressman or a real person, but he's talking about like, well, yeah, we're going to bring fucking power to Yellowstone. Mm-hmm. And Harrison Ford is like, no, like, so you're going to sell me something I don't need that now I have to work for to pay for. And this guy ends up, spoiler alert, being like a total sociopath. Like he turns these two sex workers into like one of them's a slave and he has this like whole dominant thing. He's like,
what the fuck?
He's like, that's all I have. He's like, I just enjoy my power because I fucking can. And it's fucking wild because you're like, whoa, you're watching. I was telling Mario, I'm like, and of course he's like, I just thought I was watching Cowboys, my sweet, simple man. But it was like, I was like, no, this is like basically like the start of where you're watching things go wrong.
Yeah.
Where it started in 1883 and you're with just what we did to the native culture and what the Spanish did and then what we do. And they're just like, yeah, this is what we do.
So, okay, here's what I'm always curious about. I'm taking us in not another direction, but
do it.
Clearly, the people who are leading these movements, and of course, some of the followers are clinically sociopathic.
Yes. Or drug-induced something.
Psychopathic or on 100%. Drugs.
Yep.
What about everybody else?
Yeah.
What about the people that follow them? This is where my curiosity is piqued. Yeah, I guess it's just to power.
That. And if not my survival, if it means I have to kick you, so be it. Where you and I would hold a hand out.
Yeah. I guess these people can be so persuasive.
We're the apocalypse people who are like, let's be a team. We're not.
Yeah.
What was Daryl's brother?
What is it?
They also all believe in zombies. There's a lot of zombie shit in the Dark Enlightenment too.
What the fuck?
We didn't even go into the weird fringiness of this.
Maybe we need a part 2, you guys. So our final thought on this, because we've really gone down a very long rabbit hole right now, and it's my fault because I got high. So
because I got high.
So that's going to be our intro song. Sue us. I'm surprised we haven't been sued already. So
I love that.
I steal a lot of music. So the danger isn't just the ideology itself, you guys. This intersects with power, economic, technological, political, all of the powers. Because when anti-democratic ideas gain traction among elites, they don't stay theoretical. They have the power and the influence to be able to start implementation. And this is what concerns me. So many of us are looking around at what Trump's doing and saying, wait, what the fuck? Like, there has to be a way to stop this. This isn't purely predicated on, Republicans hold all the power in Congress. Like, no. Mm-hmm. No. Like, there has to be more.
Yeah.
And so that's where I start to get really scared that there were people in situations like this, say Nazi Germany, for instance, who were thinking like we were. We're like, wait a minute, why is nobody stopping this?
Right.
And then before you know it, it's too late. There's no one left to stop it.
I don't know.
And that's my concern with ideas like this that are so inextricably linked to what's happening right now.
Because we're all on our phones looking at the minute by minute cycle.
Must be.
And we're too afraid to tell crazy Uncle Grandpa so-and-so that, I'm not gonna go to the thing. Yeah, but not at this. It's accelerating.
It is accelerating, and it is social media, and we've talked about this. But go back and listen to that episode, because at an hour and 3 minutes and extreme cottonmouth on my part, we are done. So we hope you enjoyed this intellectual masturbation / very real threat, because this is fucking scary, you guys. This is like everything else going on. Let us just give you one more scary thing to have to think about to keep you up at night. This is why I drink.
Yeah.
And this is why you need to follow us on TikTok, where we have a decent sized community for a couple of plebeians. Join our community of over 8,000 members. We're at TWATJC. Then we're on Instagram, which is a fucking cesspool. I fucking hate it. People are really mean. YouTube, all that shit.
You can email us.
You can email us. You can send us
talk to you.
A message. We will. To the person that reached out to us about animal rights, we apologize. We didn't get back to you. That's just not our... Somebody sent us a message. Something about animal rights. It is not our area of expertise. In fact, I don't know what our area of expertise is, but it absolutely is not animal welfare and rights. But we love you.
We are supporting that.
Yeah, and we hope that you get connected to people that could help you with this issue.
Okay.
But we can't solve everything. We can't solve anything. We're just here
for tonight.
We're just here to entertain you and hopefully learn together.
Something.
Yeah, we're going to learn together.
Plebeians.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Use it in a sentence.
Bye.